Welcome to today's episode. We got one of my favorite things, break your limits, and today we got a guide on how to help you complete this event in Kingdom Arena and maximize your rewards here and your potential so that you can walk away with this lovely one ancient star soulstone of choice chest and all the other amazing awards that you have when you complete 42 of these arena challenge missions. So thank you for tuning in today. We will break down each of these pieces and components of the Break Your Limits event. Additionally, we'll give you some tips and tricks, key considerations to understand in terms of being able to complete the event. And last but not least, we pull it all back together as we always do. Now, those timestamps are available to you down below. You can skip to the portion of the video that makes sense for you. And additionally, if you happen to have a question or comment throughout today's episode, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the event. This is one of my favorite ones, and I love it. On top of that, we got great PvP metagame stuff here on the channel as well that you can check out and great teams to run. Now, with that said, finally, last but not least, feel free to swing by the Discord server. Let's move into Break Your Limits, and we're going to break this event for sure for you guys. So here's what we got going on. A couple of different key components. First thing to notice is I do have 6 days left. My recommendation is always maximize that time up front. That's going to be a huge piece in order to not get too late into the event and then not be able to complete it. So that's the first thing. The second thing to consider, I'll talk about here shortly, is knowing that these events are on their way. Not over leveling to a certain extent, depending on where you're at in the game in your PvP arena, and progressing too fast. That's going to allow you to play against harder players and higher powered players. So still, these concepts are going to apply, but the ability to play against players that might be closer to your power level or underpowered relative to your power level will help you complete the event faster, in my opinion. So those are two key things. Now, with that said, as we begin to look at these, we got count, so the number of times that you're playing in it. We have revenge battles. That's a big one. We have a specific cookie in your arena team. So in this case, defense cookie. We have progression. So here we get to Crystal 2, win with all your cookies alive. Again, more revenge battles, again, cookie type. Additionally here, we do have, let's see, when we get to it right here. Win with 30% or less of the total HP once. As you can see, I haven't completed that one yet. This one, in my opinion, tends to be one of the harder ones and one of the hardest ones in order to complete. And you actually not only do it once, twice, but you need it absolutely positively 3 times. So we're going to break each of these key considerations down, tips and tricks for you across each of these to think about how to help complete the event. Most of them are self-explanatory, but the 2 that I do want to focus on specifically are going to be your revenge battles. 1, 2, win with 30% or less of your total HP to help you complete it. So again, let's go ahead and move over into the PvP portion of the game, Kingdom Arena, to kind of talk through this stuff. So as you can see, I'm Diamond 1. I haven't progressed into Master, again, slightly on purpose, in order to play with different powered level players, because I think it helps you complete some of these other things a little bit easier. Not so much in terms of what I would say revenge battles, but again, more on that 30%, because it becomes harder to find players that lower their defense like this and then give you a better opportunity to kind of match up your team in order to try and hit that 30% marker. So the first one, again, in terms of what you need to consider, is definitely that defense power. So I'm running Cotton as a lower defense power in order to bait higher level players, or players, sorry, not necessarily higher level players, bait lower level players into attacking this, and then I attack with my higher power. So no, I'm not at this 18, I'm actually at 1.3, so we'll use that for a better reference. Those are key pieces to consider. Now, certainly, again, you can get a little bit higher level players to attack you, and then certainly if you have higher level power than them and similar teams, or a better team or a counter team to their team, should give you an opportunity to win that revenge battle. So as you can see in the defense, we can go look, we have won several revenge battles already. Again, key component is The other word of advice here is just because they're at 1.3, I'm at 1.3. Now my team should stack up pretty well against this. If we go look at Revenge, the other tip here is taking a look to see what they have. Now I think we can win this. We'll go ahead and attack here to show you. And I love the new animation here with the latest update for this. It'd be nice to get a double whammy and get down to 30%. However, generally when you have a healer, boom, it's done. Generally, when you have a healer, you're not going to run into that. It becomes much harder to do. Problems with pure vanilla, just huge nukes. The second problem is if you do run cotton like my opponent, they're going to continue, their sheep, when you hit the end, will continue to heal, which can knock you out of that 30%, which can be a problem. Now, here again, we got 614. We look, they changed their defense. So in terms of moving into that second portion and consideration of the 30% and being able to outmaneuver, here what we do is we run a less powered team. So we want to try and line up the team that's going to be best for us. And I recommend being able to do it, as an example, without a healer. So in this case, we're at 452. We should be able to outpower a lot of this stuff. But just to be on the safe side, I'm actually going to try and put 2 in there up front just to kind of slow this down a little bit. Most of it's going to come through Frostwing here. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to do the trick for us to get into the 30%. We'll find out really quickly, because we're going to need to get hit with a lot of damage. There we go. So stacking some of those lower cookies, if we can get through this and deal damage and not be totally stuck. There we go. The question is, are we going to be able to take down our friend here? Oh, sad, sad day. Oh, so very close, very close. We end up losing and we lost the other one. Now, here's the other trick. So I don't know if you caught that. I held back on one concept there that is pretty important. So the other trick is when you add in more lower level cookies and they get beat, your percentage bar is already going to come down. Boom. Amazing, huh? It's a great tip and a great trick in terms of being able to think about this a little bit differently. So we're going to add in 2 other ones here. And now we're at 516. We can keep some of these things off the back. We ran into problems with Hollyberry. Let's see if we can do it again. So you'll quickly notice as those cookies get beat, we're going to run into that exact situation where we should be able to do okay in terms of, again, our particular makeup. The problem we're going to run into here is they do have pure vanilla and big healers, and we need to get a very, very powerful hit. There we go. 2 of them off. I don't know if this is going to be enough to take down Hollyberry like we just ran into. Oh, we did it. We did it. 7%. Perfect. Love it. So again, that is the key piece there in terms of consideration to taking down your opponents and ultimately closing out and getting that 30% win. There we go. 30% or less twice. It should now be in here somewhere. We just need to see it. We need to see it. We know we got it. It's in there, probably at the top. There it is. Boom. Right there. Awesome. So those are key tips and tricks for you to break your limits. So to pull this all home for today's guide and episode, we walked through the break your limits. We gave you all the key concepts by walking through this, talking about the great rewards that you can get, gave you 2 key pieces that are really going to be the more challenging ones, which tend to be the revenge battle and that win with 30% or less total HP. We gave you the concept and idea and strategy around the baiting, how to think about going in and attacking lower level players depending on your power level or makeup of your team. And then additionally, they're making sure that you click in and check their defense, because that can be a big thing. Then on top of that, we went and showed you how to think about the 30%. So not only can you start with 1 cookie and try and go that route, but the reality is when you add a bunch of lower level cookies, on your team, you're immediately going to smash that percentage down to being within that 30%. And then if you have the one cookie and that one cookie survives, like our Frost Queen, you're going to be in a great spot and shape, which is absolutely what we were able to do. So those are all great concepts, tricks, tips for you that you can apply during your gameplay here on CookieRun Kingdom in order to break your limits. So thank you for tuning in. As always, appreciate your support. Thank you for your likes and your subs as we continue to grow this community. If you happen to have a question or comment, do let me know. Let me know in the comments if these things work for you, if you've seen them before, if you got other ideas. I love to hear it as always. And feel free to come say hi and swing by the Discord server with the community as well. With that, you take care. We'll see you soon. We got a ton more CookieRun Kingdom content headed your way.